Having the right clothes for your winter trip in Iceland is one of the most important parts of the whole planning process. Because not paying enough attention to how dressed you are could literally make your trip miserable. And if there is one thing that most of the people who visit Iceland during the winter agree on, it is the fact that it is actually even colder here than they even expected. And since this will be my 9th winter here in Iceland, you can trust me when I say that the weather is definitely something that you shouldn't underestimate. So let's just dive right in and let's begin with the base layer, and let's also start with our first lesson, and that's that forget about your regular cotton t-shirt, because that thing won't keep you warm, and if you get sweaty it also won't dry very fast, and that means that you will also get cold very easily. And so what you should wear instead is some sort of functional wear, and these are usually made either out of synthetics or materials like a merino wool. I have and use both, and both work well, but I generally prefer the wool material, and that's mainly because I like how it feels on my skin. Plus, for traveling, I would even say that this is way more practical, as it won't get stinky as fast as some of the other materials. For example, this merino based t-shirt that I'm wearing right now is made by Icelandic company Icewear, which has a lot of warm clothing in their lineup. And a lot of it is actually made from or insulated with a real Icelandic wool. They have actually provided me with a lot of clothes that you'll see in this video, and so if you needed to buy any of these layers that I'll be mentioning, and you also want to bring some souvenir from Iceland with you that's actually useful, you should definitely check out one of their stores here on the island. And I'm not paid to say any of that, this is just my honest tip. Plus I also asked for a discount that you could use, and it should pop up somewhere up here. So now moving on to the legs, and that will be similar as with this layer, and that's the merino wool long johns. And so this is basically what becomes like my second skin here during the winters, and I wear this almost all day every day. And on top of that, normally I would only wear some sort of hiking pants, like preferably some waterproof hiking pants like these. These aren't even insulated, and this is usually enough if I'm moving around. If I know that I'll be just standing around and, I don't know, taking photos and stuff like that, or if it's too cold, I would also bring some sort of insulated pants like these. And I've been actually testing these wool padded pants in the last couple of days, and they have been really good. Another option would be also to have some proper like snow pants, like ski snowboard pants, but somehow I just find it to be more practical to have 2 layers, and you can sort of decide what you'll wear based on how much you are planning to move or how cold it actually is. But now back to the top of the body, and here on top of this merino wool layer you will have a couple of options what you could wear. What I've been wearing and what's worked for me for many years is simply having a down jacket, which is very lightweight and packable, but still gives you a very good insulation. And then on top of it, I just wear a simple shell, which is basically a jacket that's waterproof and will protect you from moisture and wind, and will also help with retaining the heat around your body a little bit better. You could also wear a thicker down jacket like this one, but then you have to make sure that the top layer that goes over it is loose enough so you won't end up looking like, you know, like Michelin Man. And so basically this is like enough of clothes for me most of the time, but if let's say you are a person who gets cold very easily, or let's say that you know that you won't be moving around too much, and let's say you'll be just mostly standing around with the camera and stuff, what I would recommend is basically either bringing like a second thermal layer, like for example a turtleneck shirt, or you can keep it very casual and simply bring like a regular hoodie or something like a warm flannel shirt, which these are great pieces of clothing to bring with you either way, as you can also use them to wear when you are just hanging out in your accommodation and you just want to wear something comfortable. But what you could also do is bring something like, wait for it, something like this, a sweater made out of real Icelandic wool. This is a super warm layer, and it is also a great souvenir to bring from Iceland. And if you actually wanted like a traditional hand-knitted Icelandic sweater, you can find them pretty much all over Iceland, you know, in every souvenir store, in every cafe and so on. but they also cost quite a lot of money, and that's around $3 to $350, something like that. But if you don't necessarily need a hand-knitted sweater, you could also buy something like this from Icewear, and it's about half of the price, plus you also get this discount from me, which I mentioned earlier. But now back to the base layer, because there is another way that you can go about things, and that's basically you could replace this down jacket and the shell that I showed you earlier with this bad boy, a waterproof puffer. And this has been honestly quite a game changer for me lately, because previously when I wanted to wear just a warm down jacket like this one, and it was a rainy or snowy day, it would always get wet, and so I would always need to bring some sort of top layer on top of it. But with this being waterproof, I can just wear this and I don't really have to worry about the weather. And so thanks again Icewear, great job on this one. And so this is a perfect solution for a normal travel, when you are maybe doing some easy walks when visiting sites or standing around taking photos. Plus you can still fit a hoodie or sweater underneath it if it's very cold. With that said, I would still only choose this one for the days when you are not really planning to go hiking and stuff, because otherwise you will get sweaty in this real fast. And so for scenarios like that, I would still rather choose like 2 individual layers so you can control the temperature better. But now one thing that I cannot imagine living in Iceland without is a proper beanie. Like honestly, with all this wind here, it is basically impossible not to have your head and ears protected. And usually I would just wear this, but if I'm like hiking, ski touring and stuff, I would usually just bring something like a baseball cap, and then I would have like a headband that I can also cover my ears with. Plus another thing that I always wear is a buff to protect my neck. And this is another thing that I won't leave my house without, because A, I hate when my neck gets cold, and B, on a cold day, even though this is just such a small and simple thing, this can make a lot of difference. Another part of our body that we have to protect from all this cold and wind is our hands. And usually what I try to wear is some sort of, on the thinner side, waterproof gloves. And the reason I prefer thinner gloves is that I still want to be able to use my fingers and hands when I need to grab stuff from my pockets and do whatever, right? It's just more practical. And that also brings me to a tip. It is a good idea to pick gloves which have a touchscreen material on the fingertips like these, so you can still use your phone without taking them off. And I think this is actually pretty important, because you'll be taking photos here all the time, and having to take your gloves off when it's windy and cold is always super annoying, and so this works pretty well. But still, like, sometimes these may not be enough, like especially on the days when it's stormy and super cold, and for scenarios like that you'll probably want to bring something like proper winter gloves, something you would use for like skiing, snowboarding and stuff. Now for the shoes. Normally in the summer I would just boil down the advice to bringing hiking shoes, that's it. But since there is so much snow outside in the winter and you cannot really hike too far anyway, I would just say bring something that has a good grip, that is preferably waterproof, and that will keep you warm. Like lately, for example, I really started enjoying wearing like a winter insulated Wellington boots, which I think they are great when it's like, stormy, you need to dig out your car, and because of how tall they are, the snow will never get inside, Plus they are, warm, waterproof, have a good grip, they check all the boxes basically, and so this has actually become my favorite go-to winter shoe lately. Something I would never expect to actually wear here, but it works surprisingly well. And then of course bring some warm woolen socks to keep your feet warm. And what you could also bring or buy here is these like very thick woolen socks, and this will actually come handy like if you're just chilling in your accommodation and the floor is cold, this will be great, and you don't really have to think about bringing slippers and stuff. One more thing that I want to mention is that I understand that not everybody will be able to afford to buy new clothes for their trip. And so if you wanted to use something that you already have at home, that's completely fine, go for it. The only thing that you have to think about is that you just need clothes that will keep you warm and dry. That's it. And if you find yourself in a situation when you are already in Iceland and you suddenly realize that you underestimated the weather, what you could also do is to still additionally buy some of these layers here in Iceland. Like, you could either visit one of the, for example, Icewear stores, or if you are on a budget, just visit Red Cross or one of these secondhand stores. And if you're wondering why I really want you to be so well prepared and well dressed for this winter here in Iceland, you can go and watch this video right here, which I made last winter, and that will hopefully give you some sense of what kind of weather you might be able to experience here during your trip. And so, I'll see you there.